Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for F1 Manager 2023 as we continue our hardest start run here with Alfa Romeo. Still in our first season, although we've only got about 6 races left, and we'll see how we can do in the next season. Speaking of next season, I have finally gotten Dan Fallows here to agree to a contract. We did are paying him a big old chunk of money, $3 million salary, which is insane compared to what he's making right now. But comparing him to some of the guys higher up, those guys are making like 5 mils. So yeah, I guess we got to pay a lot to get a lot. So, and he's definitely an upgrade over the guy that we currently have. So we're going to go ahead and go with this, get him on board. He will be coming end of season though. So we'll save a little bit of money on some of the cost to break contract stuff. But a little bit is probably the strong word there. But there we go. Got him for the next season. So we go back and look at our staff. We got Dan Fallows for next season. We got Dirk De Beer for next season. We've got Ben Mitchell for next season. We don't have a guy for this one yet, but we probably will be looking for that next season to replace him as well. We already got the sporting director. We already know that. As far as drivers, obviously Piastri came in this season. We've got Theo coming in for next season here. We're probably going to keep Bottas for at least one more year. Just kind of stick with him for a little bit longer and then figure out if we're going to stick with Piastri and Theo or go with somebody else, and we'll kind of decide that when we get there. But there we go. Dan Fallows hired for next season. All is good there. Let's go and get over to the race here. Did finish manufacturing suspension there. We do have some manufacturing slots available, but I'm trying to save a little bit of money. I think we've got enough parts across all of our pieces to be okay for now. So I don't think we need to craft anything else. We'll double check real quick. We've got 2 chassis for both cars. 3 front wings for both cars currently. 2 rear wings for the first car, 4 for the second car. That should be okay. Wrong button. 2 side pods for each car. 2 underfloors for the car 1, 4 underfloors for car 2. Should be okay. And then 2 suspension for each car at the moment. I think that'll get us there. I mean, once we as car parts start to fail inspection, we'll have to craft more. But for now, I think that is going to be all right. And we'll go with that. Let's see. Suspension manufacturer. We already know that. Good stuff. Oh. Wow. Bottas's rating is starting to decrease. That is a little bit unexpected. Why? Just because he's getting old? Yeah. That happens to all drivers eventually as they reach the later stages of their career. Okay, well, that is definitely something. I mean, we're losing a point in cornering. It doesn't say a point in braking. I mean, it's red, but it's not actually showing a full point. 2 points in control, though. A point in smoothness, a point in adaptability, a point in overtaking, 2 points in defending, 2 points in reaction, 2 points in accuracy. Yeah, that's a lot going down, and I'm assuming that's just going to continue to go down going forward as well. So maybe we do start scouting out some optional other drivers that we can stick around with. I don't know. Definitely might be something to look into. Got 2 race engineers being scouted currently, so we'll come back once we have some scouts available. But yeah, that's definitely something to think about for sure. Why did it not ask us for the guarantees? Why does it do that sometimes? Did I just miss the guarantee? Like, I wish I could still... Yeah, see, I didn't get to put any guarantees in. That's really weird. Why does it do that? Can I put... Can I load the autosave? Okay, you can't double click. I was trying to double click that. Let's load the autosave, save that. It's probably going to put me on the same screen. I don't know why. Did we already try this once before? I can't remember. Nope, there we go. We're back to this screen. Just to make sure that we did get, what's his name, hired. Okay, there's the performance lost. Let's go to the race. Yeah, I just need to start putting the performance targets in first, because, again, last season I could have sworn that it actually went to a screen like this before we went anywhere, but I don't know. Something just seems off this season. We're not going to get fastest laps, so we don't have to worry about that anyway. I mean, I guess we do. There's only a couple guarantees we're going to be able to plug in here anyway. We're going to say he can probably get 13th. Give us a little bit more money. We'll plug in reach Q3. He might be able to. He has been a couple times here and there, so that would be good. Now let's go with that. All right. Now we can go to the race weekend. So weird.
Our calendar brings us to the Middle East this weekend.
All right, let's get into this. 22-second pit stop. It says a sprint weekend. I'm glad I clicked on the screen because I probably would have missed that. So we will need to manage the first. I mean, it's right there. Don't get me wrong, but this is very subtle, right? It's very hard to see this down here unless you're just really looking for it. So I need to manage the first pit practice just because that's the only opportunity we have before qualifying and all that stuff. So I will be doing that here. Yeah. So let me go get practice managed and qualifying and all that stuff, and I'll bring you guys back for the sprint. All right, we're back, and unfortunately qualifying did not go well. Practice didn't go well either, to be perfectly honest. Start with qualifying. As far as qualifying is concerned, Bottas, it did end up in 14th place overall, so he did miss 13th by a smidge. That was mostly due to the fact that his engine went into the yellow, I think, for some of the later stints, so he was not able to get the faster times that we would want. It's okay. We're just going to accept it. It's better to accept our place where we're going to be and then probably pay the $5 million for the engine unless we absolutely have to. So if we can avoid spending that $5 million, we will. Piastri ended up in 18th place overall. As far as practice is concerned, Piastri didn't even complete the first lap. Like, I don't even think he completed the first turn of the first lap. He wrecked his car and had to retire from practice. He destroyed the chassis and he destroyed the front wing. No idea. Truth be told, I might be starting to look for a different driver because I don't know what's going on with Piastri, but he is crashing a lot more than I would like. And if I wanted somebody to crash that much, I would have just gotten Theo, right? So we might be looking for somebody else. I don't know. I'll keep my eyes open, but we've got Piastri for a long time. So it's going to be one of those things. We'll have to see what happens here. But yeah, that's where we start. Again, we're already in the yellow with Bottas's engine, so don't expect much from the race itself, which is fine. Or the sprint, I guess, which is up first here. I mean, it's a 3-second difference, but we can't push. So if we actually push this one a bit, let's say we went with that, and then this one could push a teeny tiny bit, maybe. Not that much. Honestly, really not that much at all. It does look like the mediums might be better because we'll be able to push a bit more. Although we can't push the entire time, but I think we will plug those in. I'm going to put them on just push strategy so I can kind of have that line that I can watch. And then, helps if I actually select it. And then we'll know to back off a little bit here and there. All right, let's put on the good parts again because we did put on parts for practice. And I say good parts very loosely because, again, he's already in the yellow for his engine. But we just don't want to, like... Unless it looks like we're going to lose our 7th place finish, I don't think there's any value in us pushing much more. I mean, getting more points to be 7th still is really not going to help us that much. So I'm going to play it out as is and hope that we're going to be okay. Hope that none of the other teams can get points either, and then we'll be all right. So let's go ahead and bump all these things up. Bottas is actually starting in 10th and Piastri starting in 13th because of all the people that have gotten new parts. But they probably have something to race for, which again, we don't really have anything else to race for at this point in the series or in this first season.
We're ready for the sprint here in Qatar. And it's lights out and away we go.
All right, we'll watch from Bottas' point of view here. The only thing we really have to gain is money from either the regular sponsor objectives or the guaranteed objectives. And the thing with that is that I don't know that we would make enough money in 6 races. I'm pretty sure we wouldn't make enough money in 6 races, even with, those sponsor objectives, getting every single one of them to justify a $5 million engine, So I think we're going to hold off if we can. Now, if we get to the end of the season, we find out we're on the last race and we should have had an engine, then yeah, I'm going to feel a little bit bad about that. But Let's see if we can get there. Maybe we can. Probably helps if I actually turn on battle assist. Probably drained a little bit more than I meant to. All right, cool. Well, we'll be back if anything crazy happens. All right, that actually went very cleanly. Piastri ended up exactly where we basically planned, which is last place. Bottas almost caught 12th place. It was actually really, really close there at the end. If I'd pushed maybe a hair sooner, maybe he could have caught him, but that's okay. 13th place, honestly, I'm pretty happy with that. And if we can get that in the race itself, then that's actually going to get us the sponsor money already. So that's actually a good position to end in if we can be there. So we'll see what happens. Get into the race itself. Again, we already looked at this, right? 22 seconds for the pit stop. We did not look at the tire compound stuff. Relatively small difference between medium and hards. Honestly, not a huge difference between soft and mediums, but we'll see how that plays out with the strategies here in a second. I mean, I actually feel like this might end up being the better strategy because it is a relatively small difference between the mediums and the hards. Especially if we can push that one a bit more at the end there. Something like that. So let's update that strategy. And then we'll come into this one and we're going to... This one we can probably only go aggressive on all three, right? Yeah. All right, something like that maybe. Something like that. So what is the difference here? Yeah, it's 1 second faster to stay on the hards. And that's what I assumed it would be. Because there's just not enough difference between the compounds in general. Now, could we push this one even further? Let's see here. Could we even push that one all the way down? Just about. In fact, we might plug it in as if we're going to, and then obviously back off a little bit along the way. Something like that. Yeah, it's even faster. That's what I assumed. It's just there's just not enough difference between the tires. It's just a good strategy to push as much as we can. Again, we'll have to back off a little bit, but something like that would be okay. All right, we're gonna go with that. I think that's a good strategy. I like that one. Honestly, you're gonna go with the same strategy. There's no reason not to. It's not gonna make any difference because you're just gonna end up in last place unless something crazy happens, which it could. You never know, I suppose. But we are not gonna be pushing you too much. I mean, the parts are what the parts are. I mean, there's nothing we can do about those. Again, I don't want to craft new engines if we can help it. Thankfully, the other parts beside the engine for Bottas are still pretty good. Honestly, the engine for Piastri is good. Like, can we swap? Can we give his engine to Bottas and then, you know, whatever? That would be great, but no. All right, let's get into this. Bottas actually starting in 9th place, apparently because of some more penalties. All right, let's make sure we turn on the battle assist this time around. And I'm just going to speed right through this. Like I said before, I think that there's just not much point in showing these last 6 races. We're not expecting much from them. If something crazy happens, I will bring you back. But more than likely, we're just going to settle in, finish these last 6 races, and get into next season where we're hopefully going to be competing for points a bit more frequently. So we'll be back when there's something, if there is something. Well, I told you I'd bring you back if something happened. Unfortunately, something has happened. Bottas is out. We're going to watch his accident here in a second. He was actually doing fine. We were like 12, 15 laps in, something like that. I don't remember exactly how many laps we're in, but he was holding on to 8th place. Like, he was actually gapping 9th place a bit. So he was playing strong. Very good possibility. We actually could have ended up with points in this one, even with a damaged engine, which just tells me that all these other guys, there's probably a lot of other guys that are running on not great components, honestly. So we'll watch the crash here, which is unfortunately going to knock him out of the race. And he just
Clear
lost
contact there.
complete...
Now,
Wait,
the confidence will have taken a
there
hit.
wasn't contact, was there? I think he just lost traction. I didn't see any contact. But anyway, he's out. Obviously, Piastri, there's no way Piastri's going to do anything, so I'm very much going to be speeding through the rest of this, because there really is no point now. And I'll bring you guys back at the end. So apparently my drivers heard me talking about how nice it would be to be able to just get to the end of the season with the parts that we had, not have to craft anymore, you know, whatever, because, and they were like, you know what, boss, you know, we'll show you. We got this, boss. So they both crashed. Because why wouldn't they? Oh, I'm so scared to see how much damage this is. We're going to have to craft emergency parts. It's going to be something stupid like that. I guarantee it. Guarantee it's going to be something ridiculously dumb like that. Not only that, but we didn't even get a fastest pit stop time this time around. So if we keep doing that kind of thing, we're going to have some troubles with losing that thing. I cannot believe it. Oh my goodness. Gotta love the drivers that we have. Do I want to look at this? I don't want to look at this. Alright, so we got 2 chassis we got to create. Actually, we got... that might be the one from practice. I don't know for sure. We'll find out if there's a second one on there. Nope, both chassis destroyed. So we have to craft him a chassis in 11 days. Okay, that's doable. We have a spare front wing for car 1, so we can take care of that. What's next? Front wing for car 2. That might be the practice one. Okay, so he destroyed both front wings, but we do have a third. So at least we're good there, sort of. We will need a backup at some point, but we are sort of good there. Underfloor pass, rear wing pass. Suspension destroyed on the left. Side pods destroyed on the right, or failed on the right. At least we have backups for both of those currently. Why does it keep going up? That's kind of weird. And then, oh my goodness, he just destroyed his engine. Absolutely just wrecked his engine. And his gearbox. His gearbox was at 90%. Great. I mean, I think we could still potentially make it to the end of the season. I say, you know, famous last words, but all right. So chassis, we can swap out his chassis. He has that chassis, and then this chassis goes on car 2. Unfortunately, we have no spare chassis now, which is great. You're going to take that front wing, and you're going to take that front wing. That's fine for now. Suspension. You are going to take that suspension. You've got suspension. The other suspension, that's fine. Again, powertrain. There's nothing. We're going to have to craft a new one. I know it. We're going to get to the last race of the season, have to spend $5 million on a brand new engine for no reason. I know it's exactly what's going to happen. 100%. And then you need your side pod. And we got to craft some stuff for sure. Actually, did you have a chassis? Oh, yeah, we gave you that one. Okay. That's right. Fair enough. All right. So, let me just look at here. Could use a chassis for both. Front wing, we might hold off for now. We are probably going to have to craft a new one at some point, but for now we're going to hold off. Rear wing, we're fine. Side pods, we're gonna have to put the side pod on car 2. I like the air cooling, but we're just gonna have to put that on there. So at least we have a little bit of flexibility there. Okay, we're a little bit of flexibility on the underfloor. We're fine there. And the suspension. So actually, really just a second suspension and a chassis for both, and we might be okay for now. So we'll do the chassis for car 1 first. Actually, I'm going to do the chassis for car 2 first. And the only reason I'm going to do that is because he's more likely to crash, usually. So we'll get him a chassis. It'll be done here in 10 days. So it'll be done in time for race. That's good. And then we'll get a suspension for... which one was it? Car 1. And it'll be done in 8 days. I mean, we're spending money I wish we didn't have to, but... can we make it? I don't know. Honestly, don't know if we can make it. Really? You're going to reduce your confidence in my leadership because my drivers crashed? Okay. Still high confidence, though. Come on now. We're good. Now this is his good engine. I mean, it technically, if he doesn't crash, is enough to make it to the end of the season. And then we have a gearbox of 46%. We could still limp ahead to the end of the season with what we've got. Barely, but I think we can still make it to the end of the season. 5 races left is a lot of races left, though, to be fair. We'll find out. Truth be told, we would be better off not making Q2. That way we save ourselves a couple. It's only a couple laps, though. Honestly, Q2 is not what's getting us. Right. Oh, I was going to look up something real quick. Hey, there's our front wing research. Good. Let's check something real quick. Finances. I mean, we still got 11 million bucks. I mean, it's getting close, but there's a little bit of money there. What? I wanted to check. Did the regulation stuff ever show up? No. Why is this? Oh, there we go. The rear wing regulation thing started showing up a little bit. So we're gonna get knowledge in places that we don't need it, and we're gonna miss out on a little bit on some of the stuff for changes for 2024. But as long as we get a little bit, if we can get a little bit of these regulation changes back, then that's gonna be a win, I think, for us overall. The front wing research is done. We do want to do more research for front wing. Front wing, rear wing just need to keep going. We have hours still. Yep, it's gonna have hours in it. And again, no point in doing anything else but leave it balanced. Still don't have the patch. I don't know when it's coming, so I'll have to keep recording videos. I can't sit around waiting for a patch that may not come for a while. I was going to check something. Yeah, let's check. So driver that we had in 22 that worked out decently well for us was... Where is he? Is he really this far down? Oliver here. I mean, he can't race an F1, but he worked out decently well for us. He did some good stuff for us in our last season. I mean, this guy still has high development rate, to be fair. Maybe we just keep him for a while. I mean, he might be all right. No, we already got him replaced. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know. Pietro, I've never run this Pietro. He's a little bit older than I'd like, to be perfectly honest. Frederick, maybe. Dennis Hogger. We've run Dennis Hogger before, haven't we? We have. He was wasn't he the guy that we had? No, we had Doohan. Maybe we never had Hogger. I don't remember suddenly. Why am I suddenly not remembering Hogger? I feel like we did have Hogger. And maybe replaced him with Doohan at one point. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Doohan in general, but I like the idea of Doohan, but he does have high... We'll rescout him and Hogger. We'll rescout a couple of these guys. I mean, we may rescout this. We may scout this guy too. I've never tried him out. Yeah, we'll scout a few of these guys down here and see what our options are. Pretty much anyone 23 and under, probably at this point, is worth looking into. Yeah, something like that. We'll take a look once we get our scouts back. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Not much we can do about it right now. All right, there's our suspension. I guess we will get immediately working on the chassis for car 1. Oh, we can't because we're still working on the other chassis. That's right. Just because I have an open slot doesn't mean I can work on 2 chassis at the same time. Now I can. Now we can manufacture this one. Let's do it normal. Hope that works out. All right, so now we're getting some scouting in for some, what are these, managers, right? No, what are they? I forget what we were scouting. Why do I not remember what we were scouting? And it's funny that it doesn't tell us there. Oh, race engineers. There we go. I was like, why did I say manager? I meant engineer. I was like, where's their title? There it is. Yeah, we got a couple of those guys scouted in. That's good. I mean, these guys are just not going to be interested, obviously, at this point. We've already got this guy coming in. How about going after this guy, didn't we, at one point? I can't remember why we didn't. Is it because, I think it's the only reason we didn't go for this guy is because this guy was better, and not you. We would compare it with this guy. I don't know. This guy might be worth trying to go for. I mean, he's not significantly better, though. We might rather go for one of the other people, to be honest. All right, let's go to do some driver scouting, though. Not sporting directors, drivers. Right there. Let's... Like I said, anybody that's like 23 and under. I mean, we could go try... Lando Norris. I said I want to get young guys. Lando Norris is a young guy. Now, it's funny to get both McLaren drivers. But let's do some standard scouting for him first. And then anybody else that's 23 or under. I mean, Lance Stroll probably has a lot of development ahead of him still, but we'll skip him for now. Tsunoda, I mean, 23 and under, like I said. Let's go for Tsunoda. Let's see what he looks like. We might get one of these guys just because. I still don't want to get like a top guy. Like, it just feels, I don't know. That's not how I want to play the game. I want to play the game by trying to develop up one of these other guys a little bit. And so that's why I'm trying to go for these younger guys, if at all possible. I don't even know if we even plug these things in at this point. Honestly, I don't think we do. It's not the guarantee stuff. I think we ignore the guarantees. Even the ones over here. I just don't know that it's worth it anymore. Anything can happen at this point. No more guarantees. No more guarantees. Not going to risk it. All right, let's go to the race weekend here. Austin, Texas. The only racetrack I've actually been to.
Welcome to the United States.
Rain on the practice day. Oh, this is another sprint. Really? Truth be told, I thought about managing. I can manage this. I don't care. We're just going to get through this. I don't think I care enough to manage this anymore. I just want to get to the end. It's been such a crazy season with all the crashes and everything. Oh, we just got to see if we can survive to the end. Obviously, it was my mistake for doing an extra round of part development. 100%, I get that. You know, too many rounds of part development, that's fine. I can fix that going into next season. Also, build at the factory as soon as possible. I think that's going to be critical in next season as well. So if we get those two things changed, I think we'll be in a much better position towards the end of next season. But for right now, we're just trying to survive. So I'll be right back once we get ready for the sprint. All right, we're back for the sprint, and we're going to do something a little crazy. We're going to run 0% Barts because they're technically still got a sliver, so I can at least start the sprint, even if I don't finish it. 1% engine, 0% ERS, 0% gearbox, just to get the sprint out of the way without worrying about it. For here, over on Bottas' side, we're going to run the 15%, 1%, and 4%. Because I just don't care. I mean, Bottas is starting close enough that he could technically get points. I don't think we've got to worry about it, though. I just don't think points are going to be on the table. I mean, it's a little silly to go any sort of hype. You know what? We're just not even going to care. We're not going to try this very much. I mean, I'll do it for the first lap just because we're going to watch him for the first lap. But other than that, I just don't. It just doesn't matter. I mean, I guess we'll play it out like we would normally, but I don't think it's going to matter. We're just trying to get to the end of the season. I feel like, I realize I'm just kind of throwing it in right now, but it's just, we can't afford to spend too much money on all the extra drivetrain stuff. I mean, the only bad thing that could happen is that somehow the board's like, okay, you're an idiot. We're going to get rid of you, even though you did hit the objective that we wanted you to hit, which would be really unfortunate if they did something like that, but I don't think they will, because we're at the objective, we'll be okay. Watch Bottas here, and then I'm just going to obviously speed through the entire rest of this. If he even makes it. Which I don't think he will, but you never know. Now, the one bad thing would be if McLaren or some of these other guys started getting points because we're, you know, basically dropping out. But don't think that's happened yet. I don't think it's going to. Actually, I forgot to check that last race, see if they got any points with so many people crashing out.
DRS enabled. Now DRS enabled.
All right, there comes the first lap.
We are currently at the back.
Nice. All right,
Reese in front.
I'm gonna go ahead and zip through this, and I'll bring you guys back at the end. All right, the sprint went basically according to plan. Bottas got 17th, Piastri got 18th overall. So a couple guys crashed out. Piastri actually ended up having to retire because he did was it his engine or his one of the two parts was completely damaged. So we're gonna do it again. Honestly, they're both at 0. Like, it would be better for us to have them retire than run the risk of them destroying their parts in an accident or something crazy like that. So we're gonna do it again. It's a little silly, I agree, but you know, as long as it's gonna let us put the parts on, we're gonna go with it because why not? Just gotta survive. We're just trying to survive. All right, but I'll bring you guys back at the end. There's no point in making you guys watch this. Oh,
Lights out, and away we go.
which one is that? Oh, who is it? Who is it? Is it let's see. Okay, it's Piastri. Piastri's on fire. Oh, I love it. He's on fire. Oh, that's so good. Oh, it's so good. All right, I'll bring you guys back at the end, unless we have an explosion that kills half the field, which would be really, really sad. I'd be really disappointed. It would be funny though. So you really can't make this stuff up. This is ridiculous. We got 3 laps left to go, and yeah, okay, Piastri's out. We kind of expected that. Bottas went out. Kind of, sort of expected that. What I did not expect is 3 unrelated to us. This is not related to us in any way. 3 back-to-back red flags. Literally, we got a red flag because of Leclerc and Verstappen. Then, before we even made the first turn, there was another red flag that involved Sainz, Russell, and this guy from Alpine. And then, before we made the first turn, coming out of that red flag, 2 more guys went out. 3 red flags back-to-back, crashes all over the place. And now, the unimaginable, unthinkable craziness has happened. Williams Racing is going to get 2 top 10 finishes. And I think that pushes us out of 7th place. You cannot make this stuff up, guys. What in the world? What in the world? How is this even remotely possible? They're going to get 16 points. They've had 1 point the entire season. They've been worse than McLaren and AlphaTauri. And they're going to get 16 points in one race just because everybody else, you know, up there crashed out. Oh. Well, good news is if I fail this season because of something really dumb like this, I mean, here's the thing. Even if we had been getting points, okay, let me back up. On the one hand, if we had been getting points this entire way, and we just played it all out, the last 6 races, try to get that 1 point here, 2 points there, maybe, things like that, then we still would be getting beat by Williams Racing if they were to get 17 points and we were to get none. Now, obviously, if we were driving a car that could actually finish this race, we would be up there with them, and we could have gotten a lot of points this race. But, I mean, how are you supposed to predict something this insane? Oh, my goodness. All right, we're going to play it out, but I have no idea what this... I have no idea. My brain is... I'm beside myself right now. I have no idea how to... You can't predict this mess. Even if we were to go out and buy brand new parts for our car right now, I don't think we can catch up to their points. I genuinely do not think we can get... We'd have to get 3 points I don't know if we can get 3 points in the last 4 races. I mean, thankfully we're still getting that, although we only got 1 pit stop there. So Red Bull gained a little bit of ground, but not much. We should have pit Piastri before he retired. I don't know, guys. This is so insane. Absolutely insane. 4's still high. I mean, maybe 8th is close enough. Obviously, we got to remove some parts around. We may have to spend the money and just deck out Bottas at this point. I mean, I think we can still ignore Piastri, I think. I mean, it's going to be, what, $8.5 million bucks. We're going to have to spend $8.5 million bucks just to get Bottas decked out. To have a fighting chance for these last few races to get 3 points. This is the most insane finish. There's no way I could have predicted this. All right, we'll be right back from Mexico City. Well, I guess I'll show you guys. Maybe I'll show you some of the stuff in the middle here. I mean, we can probably get by with the ERS, so maybe that saves us 2.5 mil there. Maybe get by with the gearbox for a little bit longer, for at least a race or two. It's just we'd have to buy an engine. Honestly, at this point, I just don't know. I think we play it out as is and just accept that we're just not going to do well. I don't know what else to do. I don't think we can spend 5 million bucks on these parts right now. All right, let's check this real quick. Can we get by with your stuff, like, realistically? Yeah, so you have a brand new engine. My only fear there is that you're going to crash and destroy it. I don't know that your ERS is going to make it. So that's 2.5 mil right there that we might have to spend. I guess worst case, if we have to spend that 2.5 mil, we go over cost cap. It is what it is. His gearbox can definitely make it to the end. So his engine, his gearbox can make it to the end. His ERS might not. I just don't know. But we just need it to limp along. We just needed something that we can install. So it really comes down to him. I think we can get a race out of the ERS and gearbox, maybe 2. Before they start taking damage and really suffering. Oh, goodness. Which still leaves a little bit of money for some research. Like, we're not done with research. There's still a chance that we can do some more research. All right, front wings. We do still need probably a couple front wings. We do need a chassis, apparently. It's already manufactured. Okay, good. We're good on rear wings. We're good on side plate. I mean, the good thing is that we retired that race. We didn't crash. So there's a small silver lining there. I think we're going to have to craft a front wing apiece, maybe. So we'll craft one of these. Just to make sure we have enough. No, you know what? We're going to go with the 2. If we crash, we retire. That's just going to be the way it is. At least the 2 means we could replace 1 at least. If we crash twice, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. We do have the chassis coming out, so we'll hold off on that. Yeah, I don't know, guys. This is insane. Who could have dreamt up that finish right there? Do I know this person? Don't think we care. I mean, their overall is not very good. No, there's no way. I'm not going to support this person. Definitely not for money. Like, if it was somebody that I thought could develop into something, cool. But no, we're not going to pay 100,000 bucks. Not right now. I mean, it's not the money that we need. It's the cost cap. So for that reason, we're still not going to do guarantees. It's just, there's no point. If we needed money, fine. And don't get me wrong, we do need money to build like the factory and things like that at the end of the season. But I guess if we're going to try with Bottas, then I guess maybe we do put in some guarantees. You know what? If we're going to try with Bottas, we will. We're going to say he qualifies 15th over the next 4 races. Just try to get a little bit of money here at the end. Actually, we could probably say 13th. We're really going to push it. We might as well. Okay, we'll go with that. I think we're going to buy him an engine. And we're going to try with him. We're going to see what we can do. It's crazy, guys. It's so crazy.
We return once more to the hustle and bustle.
All right, let me go ahead and get practice done. Again, we are trying. We're going to legit try with Bottas. We don't care about Piastri anymore, but Bottas, we have to get a point here and there, if at all possible. So we'll be right back from after practice is done, or after qualifying, I should say. All right, we are back for the race, a race that actually is going to matter for us. We did qualify 8th overall, but we are going to take a penalty, of course. So however, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people above us are going to take penalties as well. So, in fact, a couple of people below us are going to take penalties. So I actually don't know where we're going to sit in the positioning, but we will drop back a little bit. But the fact that we can qualify 8th means that we are in a fairly quick car. So that feels pretty good about things. Really? They're going to put us in 20th. Why? Why 20th? Weren't there other people below us that took penalties too? That should have just dropped down, like, together? I mean, I think it'll still be okay, maybe. I'm a little more worried about being 20th now than if it was like 15th or 16th, something like that, I would have been like, fine, cool, we can move up a few spots. 20th is a little harsh. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this. 24-second pit stop. Okay, fair enough. Compounds. Big difference between medium and hard. So if we can run mediums, we will. Not as much of a difference between soft and mediums, though. But yeah, if we can run mediums, we definitely want to run mediums over hards. If at all possible. That's so weird that we dropped so far. Oh well. We add one of these and go medium. See how much we can actually push. Anything changes, so we'll just do that. I'm assuming there's there's a big difference here. I mean, theoretically, we could push this more, right? So we could push crazy hard there. We could even push this up a bit this way. Go really crazy at the beginning. Or at the end, whichever way we decide. It doesn't really matter too much which way we decide to do that, but something like that. So which of these is better? Yeah, really. I mean, it makes some sense. Okay, what about this one? Push a little bit on both stints here. It's a 20... Sorry, it's a... No, I was right. 23-second difference. And pit stop is 22 seconds. So no, this is definitely... This one right here is flat out just better. I don't know if we pushed the big first one or we pushed the last one. But we pushed one of them. I guess we run the hard. It really feels weird because it felt like the medium was just... Well, we're not going to be able to push the mediums as much. Is I think the thing. Here's an idea. Let me try this. What if we ran double mediums? Can we? Oh, we don't have enough mediums. Never mind. Well, just for giggles, let's run a hard just because I'm curious now. No, there's no way this is better, right? There's no way. It's 4 seconds better because we can push the entire time. Okay, if we do this, then what we're going to do is we're actually going to put the hard in the middle stint. And put the medium at the end. Something like that. All right, we'll go with this stint, with this strategy. I mean, there wasn't a huge difference between soft and medium, so this is fine. If something crazy happens, we can always save the other softs for, you know, like a yellow flag pit stop, something like that. Now, we'll go with that. you honestly, I do not care. You're just going to run out there and just run a race. So we'll do something like that. I mean, I could give you 2 pit stops just to make sure you get a fastest pit stop, which I guess we will. But other than that, we just do not care. We're going to ignore you pretty much the entire time. And we can't change any parts. This is it. This is what we got. I'm not even going to focus on your... I'm just not even going to worry about you. You just exist. You know? You're just in the race. I guess if another crazy race happens, at least this time he'll finish, unless he crashes, which he's very good at. Which means, hey, maybe we can get us a top 10 finish because 10 other cars crash out. Still can't believe that happened. All right, let me go to ERS Battle Assist. We will watch Bottas for this first lap. Hopefully he can get some traction here at the beginning here. Make up some ground. I mean, Piastri just needs to get out of the way here. In fact, let me just tell him, do not fight your teammate. Just let him get past you. Thank you, sir. I mean, the fact that so many other people took penalties means that a lot of other people are probably either putting on new gearboxes, new ARS, or new engines, right? So they are going to be fast as well, right? So we do have to kind of be respectful of that kind of thought process. Just because we put on some new stuff doesn't mean we're going to suddenly do better. We're going to have a fighting chance, but we're not necessarily going to do better than these other guys because they also are doing crazy stuff. I mean, I think we'll move up to 15th here after a couple laps pretty easily. I just don't know if we can get back in the top 10. And if Williams keeps getting the top 10, then this was a waste of time. And it probably was anyway, right? There's a very good chance that buying that engine was a complete waste of time anyway. Because, I mean, look at Williams up there. They're 10th and 11th right now. Now, that might just be because they did not buy new engines and stuff, so they didn't take a penalty. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys back if anything crazy happens. So of course, we put on all that new engine and everything, and we crash. I mean, thankfully it was a minor crash, but it was like we had very little damage to our, I think, chassis and our suspension. Front wing was fine, rear wing was fine, all that kind of stuff was fine. So I'm sure that affected a little bit, but the big thing that affected was that our tires just got wrecked, and so we did have to swap out our tires sooner. So we took an extra pit stop. You know, so 22 seconds extra onto our time, plus the fact that we weren't with the rest of the pack means that we weren't able to benefit from DRS the entire time. So really, really unfortunate. I mean, we did get 13th. I mean, that's something, but we didn't get points. Thankfully, neither did Williams. So I guess we kind of, everything stays the same there, but we've got to get some points. I mean, we've only got 3 races left, and so you're 1 point per. Even that might still just put us in 7th place, because if we're tied on points, are we not still 7th? I honestly don't know how what the tiebreaker is at that point. So I really don't know how this is going to work out. We'll find out. I mean, we may get to the end of the season, still be 8th place and be okay. Maybe the board will be happy with us. We'll find out. Thankfully, we did get, both drivers did get pit stops recorded. So we did obviously grow our lead a little bit over Red Bull there. Very, very important for us to win that, if nothing else. But there we go. That's 3 races in 1 episode. I just wanted to kind of speed through these. Cannot believe, I mean, you cannot predict that one in Circuit of the Americas. I mean, that is just insane that so many people crashed out and Williams picked up points. I mean, it's just, oh, frustrating to no end. But I don't know if he's going to be able to make it to the end of the season or not. I doubt it. Unfortunately, we do have to get a new chassis, new suspension, and new rear wing. So we got parts still to build. It was just really just frustrating. We're getting some scouting in for some drivers, which is good to see. 7 million bucks away. I'm gonna play it out. We'll see what happens. But at least want to build 1 more rear wing and 1 more front wing, which I think is about 2.5 million bucks. And then the last 5 million bucks, maybe we can spend on parts and stuff like that we need. So hopefully it's enough. But we're gonna put a cut in there when we come back. Last 3 races of the season. See if we can survive to the end. Hopefully the board doesn't fire us for being in 8th place. We were 7th the entire season. It's so frustrating. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.